Welcome back to the CNR Recap. I'm Griffin Aldrich, and your Boston Celtics have unfortunately been defeated by the Milwaukee Bucks tonight without Giannis, without Giannis, with a final score of 116 to 101. Disappointing loss, as this loss ends the Celtics win streak, been on a 5-game win streak, and a lot of positives for the Celtics for the 5-game win streak, though. Beat a lot of good teams. However, this was just not the Celtics night tonight. Shooting wise, they did not look very hot, especially in that third quarter. They were cold, and from the 3-point shot, they were only 14 for 49. I mean, shooting wise, from the field goal, 34 for 88, and for Milwaukee, 47 for 79. So not a very efficient night from the Boston Celtics. Again, lost with a final score of 116 to 101. And again, it really came in that third quarter. After first half into the second, here we got the differentials. Oh, as I pull up the wrong differentials, here we go. The Milwaukee Bucks differential. In the first quarter, the Boston Celtics were outscored 30, scored 35 opposed to 29 for the Milwaukee Bucks, and did the same in the second quarter. So the first two quarters for the Celtics were very efficient. I mean, the Celtics had 32 opposed to 31 in the second quarter. However, things really went down in the third quarter and could not pick it up, as the Celtics only scored 13 points and the Bucks scored 27. And again, same thing in the fourth quarter. Bobby Portis just came alive. The Celtics were outscored 29 to 21. And again, biggest lead, 6 lead changes. Celtics, again, owned the first half. We're up 14 with 6:57 in the second quarter, but the Milwaukee Bucks were up 21 with 3:47 left in the fourth quarter. So ultimately a big win by Milwaukee towards the end, a 15-point game. No Giannis. They really did it with a team that we even talked about on episode 78, so go check that out, how we seem that we're better than Milwaukee. But Milwaukee, this was a game where they always want to get their get back against Boston, and tonight was the night. I mean, even one of the stars on the team, Miles Turner, didn't even perform well. In 28 minutes, had 4 points, 3 rebounds, shot 16%. So that's saying something. Cole Anthony had 9 points. Gary Trent Jr. had 13. Rollins had 10 points. And then you had Kevin Porter Jr., who had a triple-double with 18 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists. Kyle Kuzma in 31 minutes had 31 points. And Bobby Portis, who really just hates the Celtics, you could see it, and ultimately killed us tonight with, in 26 minutes, had 27 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double. Shot 84.6% from the field goal. Did the MJ shrug at 1.2. He was having himself a game, and the Celtics could not respond. I mean, Jaylen Brown tonight had 30 points, and I'll get into that in a minute, but again, not a very efficient 30 points. I mean, I think we're expecting Brown to get that every night, but even some injuries for Milwaukee. Giannis out with the right calf strain, and this might have been the last time we see Giannis in a Milwaukee Bucks jersey when we play the Milwaukee Bucks, as he's been expressing trade rumors. But also Prince out and Green out. So I think the big one is Giannis. And it's funny, I didn't even know Alex was on the team, Alex Antetokounmpo. So you'd really have to package him, and I think it's I can't say it. Thanasis Antetokounmpo. I couldn't think of his name. You'd really have to package both of them in a deal to kind of ship off Giannis. But ultimately, not a very good game for the Celtics. I feel like Ugo was playing very early, and he did fine. Had some turnovers, I believe. Let's go check. Sorry, no turnovers, but made a lot of missed shots. I mean, shot 40%, so not terrible, but not the person I want to have out there early on in the game. But he's the best option that we put out there. I mean, Jordan Walsh had a phenomenal game, had 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks and shot 80%. Probably would have been the CNR MVP had we win over the Milwaukee Bucks. But let's go over the stats for the Celtics because, again, no Luka Garza minutes, no Xavier Tillman minutes, no Shulga minutes as he's been in the G League, but some injuries for the Celtics. Chris Boucher finally on that injury board. I wonder if we're going to see kind of a Xavier Tillman phantom IL that we saw last year, but it said illness, so he was out. Ron Harper Jr. was out, and Amari Williams both getting injured in the last G League game, and obviously Jason Tatum. Baylor Shireman played 8 minutes, no other stats. Sam Hauser in his hometown, 22 minutes, 7 rebounds, assist, had no points. Josh Minot had 7 points, a rebound and assist, shot 50%. Simons had 7 points. Derek White had 11 points. The only positive plus minus with a 7 plus minus, shot 25% with 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Ugo played 15 minutes, had 6 points. So, I think Ugo had a very good performance, but you know, I just hated seeing him out there that early. But if you're throwing out your rookie out there and he's doing the work, let him go out there and cook. I mean, 6 points, 3 rebounds, assist, a steal, and shot 40%. So not bad night. Neemias Queta had 9 points, 10 rebounds, had quite a few fouls, if I'm not mistaken, and also had 1 turnover. Jaylen Brown had 4 turnovers, and Walsh had 1. Pritchard had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and shot 28.6. And I already went over this, but Jordan Walsh in 32 minutes had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and shot 80%. So I think ultimately, if we won the game, he would have been the CNR MVP. And he's just been proving himself constantly and constantly. And this is a guy who we've been talking very highly of and can really continue to grow into this player that we may have had a steal on getting in the second round of the draft. So what a move for Brad Stevens. Got to give him a clap. And what a great move for not a great move, but great development skills from the Maine Celtics. So got to give them some praise too, as Jordan Walsh has really developed into this guy that, we hoped he could become into, but we were never sure that Jordan Walsh would ever be this guy. And he's proving that he is this guy and some. So got to give a huge shout out to Walsh. He's been incredible, and he's been on a tear for the Celtics. And again, going back to Summer League in preseason, we were like, all right, well, this guy even, like, are we going to have him on our roster still? Is he washed? Like, when you're 21, you can't be washed. But is this a guy that's just not going to make it in the NBA? And he's making a name for himself. But Jaylen Brown played 29 minutes, had 30 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and shot 58.8. So not a terrible night from Brown either. And I think he did. I saw that first quarter, and he was so efficient, but none of the team for the Celtics couldn't get things going in that third quarter. That third quarter was embarrassing. I think the last time I've seen it so low, but the last notable time was against OKC Thunder last year when we had Porzingis and everyone. And I think we scored 14 or something like that. It was awful, but this game really paid a lot of things back to that because, again, I correct me if I'm wrong, but in that OKC game, I believe we had a good first half, and then in the second we just blew it like this. So just not our night tonight. And I'm not going to discredit anything the Celtics have been doing because you have these nights where you're slumping and the other team is just dominating. And that's exactly what the Bucks did. They haven't been such a good team, but they've been having guys who can really play. Like, they have guys who are spark plugs, and tonight they went off on the right time because this is a team that has been hot and they've been in the talks a lot, like starting off 3-0 and now rolling. And Milwaukee just wanted to put a stop to that. I mean, we've always had a rivalry with Milwaukee, so it's about time they were like, all right, if we're going to have a game, we might as well have it against the Celtics. But again, I think the Celtics will really get their get back later on in the season as we see them again and again. So it's not the only time we will see this Bucks team, but Celtics do end up getting a sad loss. And again, no CNR MVP tonight, only coming on nights that we get wins. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Again, the Bucks beat the Celtics with a final score of 116-101. And I believe, I'm not sure what that makes the Celtics now. I believe 15-10, but let me check really quick. Yep, 15-10, and the Bucks 11-15 on the season. So rough one, but again, you guys, we will see you with the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications to be notified every time we upload. And come back for the Pistons game, and tomorrow uploading episode 79. So thank you guys so much for watching, and turn on post notifications. Peace, guys.